If you feel like you've lost your way, you probably have no idea how to start getting back on track. That's because when you get down, when you get knocked down hard, your brain tends to freak out, and brains love to be dramatic. And when you lose your way, your brain really likes to overcomplicate things and get confused and get stuck there. That's why today I'm going to share with you 5 simple, effective ways to get yourself back on track, to pick yourself back up, figure out what you want to achieve, and ultimately to achieve it. That's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Guys, I am Rachael Sloan, for those of you who don't know me yet. I help anxious people save their marriages and their romantic relationships by overcoming their intrusive thoughts and learning to really manage their minds. And today, I want to talk about how to get back on track when you've lost your way, whether that's in a relationship or in any other aspect of your life. The principles are the same. So the first method I have for you is actually a little brain hack, because when you've lost your way, whether it's losing a business, losing a lot of money, losing a marriage, or being in the middle of one of those things, your brain freaks out. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know what's going on. And it's like, I don't even know what I want right now. That's often where you start. I don't know what I want and I don't know what I need. So how do I even go about setting goals and achieving them? The first thing I want you to do is learn to talk to your subconscious, because if you ask it a simple question, it will spit out the answers that you need. So whenever you ask yourself a question and you're like, I don't know what I want, do this. Say, if I knew what I wanted right now, what would it be? If I knew what I needed to do right now, what would that be? This sounds silly. It works. It is amazing. If you ask yourself this question, your brain will spit out an answer. If I knew what I wanted for dinner, what would it be? Ba-boom. If I knew if I wanted to stay in this marriage or not, what would it be? If I knew where I wanted to go from here with my career, if I knew what I needed to do first thing to get back on my feet after my business went under, what is that thing? If you get stuck with this one at all, try writing it down, because brains can be a little bit wily, and sometimes if you ask this question in your mind, you won't get a good answer. It'll come up with a lot of excuses and be attached to that story of I don't know what I want and I don't know what I need. But don't buy it. Get a journal, get a piece of paper, write down the question. If I knew, what would the answer be? That is the first brain hack to help you get back on track when you've lost your way. The second is to go out and actively seek some inspiration. Because when you're stuck in a bad place, in a dark place, in a low, painful place, your brain is like a tape that's skipping and it's stuck on the same track over and over and over. When it's there, when it's running like one neural pathway of despair, of hopelessness, of you suck, of this is never going to work, you can't do this, when you're stuck there, that's all you can see. That like skipping track in your brain narrows your vision. And what you end up doing is just looking for all this evidence around you to prove that what you believe is right, to prove that there's no hope, to prove that there's no way you're going to recover from this, to prove that you'll never be happy or successful again. It's not true. It's just like having tunnel vision, because your brain is stuck on this loop. So go out there and actively seek inspiration. That means going to look for people who are doing what you want to do. Go and look for people who have made a successful business starting with nothing. Go and look for people who are in a happy relationship and have been together for 45 years. Go out there and look for people who have succeeded, whether it's against all odds or starting from wherever, whether it's you want to lose weight or find love or grow a great business. Go out there and find evidence for people who are doing those things you want to do, and show your brain, show it that this is happening, that this is possible. People have succeeded. People have found joy. People have overcome their intrusive thoughts. People have made successful businesses in amazingly short periods of time. People have done all of these things, and you can do all of these things, but you can't see that when you're stuck on that track. So a great way to get yourself off of that skipping, repetitive, narrow tunnel vision track your brain wants to be on right now is to go out there and prove it wrong. Find the evidence. Look for and get inspired by people who are achieving what you want to achieve. The third thing that I want you to do when you've lost your way is to get really, really careful with your language. Watch your mouth in your own brain. And I'm not talking about swearing. Swear all you want in your own brain. But I am talking about using words like I can't, I shouldn't, I have to, I never will, I always, right? Whenever you use language like that, language that is extreme, well, actually, when you use any language at all, your brain is listening. It's listening to you. And your brain is like a small child who still believes in Santa Claus, right? And they think that you, the parent in this situation, would never lie to them. Your brain is super gullible. And it doesn't matter if it actually finds out that Santa Claus isn't real. It still thinks that you're telling the truth about the Easter Bunny. So no matter how many times you let your brain down, it believes the words you use. So when you talk to yourself and you say, oh, gosh, I never make it in business. I never make money. Your brain's like, oh my God, we never make money. It takes that as truth. It doesn't matter if you made $20,000 last year or $100,000 last year. You say those words to your brain, I never make money, it hears it. If you say to your brain, I can't find love, it's like, well, guess we better just give up on that because it's impossible. You just said it, it's impossible. Your brain believes you. If you say, I always get passed over for a promotion, your brain's like, oh, why do we even show up at work anymore? Right? Like your brain is dramatic and it thinks for some reason that you know what you're talking about. So watch your mouth in your own mind. Eliminate words like can't, like should, like have to, like never, like always. Should is particularly dangerous here, and have to. They kind of go together. They create a lot of shame and guilt. It's like, oh, well, I should do this thing, but I don't want to. Oh, I have to do this. I have no choice. Your brain hates having no choice. It is like the automatic recipe for depression. Don't tell yourself you have no choice unless you want to feel awful. Get rid of have to, get rid of should, get rid of can't, never, always. Start watching your mouth with yourself. The fourth way to get back on track when you've lost your way is to get crystal clear on what you want. Remember, if you get stuck and you can't figure out what you want, go back to the first tool I gave you and use that trick. How much money is that? What kind of relationship does that look like? Have something measurable that you know when you have reached this goal. How do I know when my business has become successful? What will I see? What will I hear? What will I feel that will tell me I've achieved this goal? Like know it intimately, like be able to see it and feel it and hear it now in the present moment so that you know exactly what you're working towards. And then take it a step further. That is your big, beautiful future goal. What do you have to do to get there? How are you going to know if you're making progress towards that goal or not? What are things that you can measure along the way that will tell you if you're getting closer to or further away from achieving that ultimate goal? Clarity. So often we're like, well, I just want to find love. Well, I just want to make money. Well, I just want my restaurant to succeed. I just want to write a book. But we haven't ever actually pictured, what is that? What does it really look like in the real world? How does it feel? How does it smell? How do I know when that has happened? Get crystal clear and find all of the little measurable steps that you'll need to achieve, all the mini goals on the way to that big goal. Map it all out. It's a great place for a vision board if you're into that kind of thing. And then once you do that, the fifth thing that I want you to do to get back on track when you've lost your way is to reframe failure. And basically, I want you to eliminate this idea from your mind entirely. Because the truth is, if you commit to achieving your goal, no matter what, there is no failure. You cannot fail unless you quit trying. Really think about that. If I set a goal and I commit to bringing it to life, no matter what it takes, I am doing this, right? I am making this business work. No matter what, I am committed. Nothing is going to derail me. If I fully commit, what do? Well, I try things. I take steps to reach those mini goals to get me towards that big goal. And what happens if one of those steps doesn't work? Say I try something in my business, I try a new marketing tactic, and it costs me a bunch of money, and it doesn't get me any customers. Was that a failure? Not if I don't give up. If I have committed to achieving this goal no matter what, I'm going to be like, okay, well, that marketing strategy doesn't work. Now what do I try to achieve this mini goal so I can get to this big goal? Yeah, that sucked. Wasted a bunch of money, spent a bunch of time. What did I learn from that? What do I do now to get to my goal? Failure only happens when you get stuck in that mistake, when you get stuck in something that didn't work, and then you question your whole goal. Who cares if it didn't work? You're learning, you're doing something, you're bringing a dream into being that never existed before. You are creating something new and powerful and different in your life. You are pulling that together, making it happen in the world. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. You've never done this before. You're doing something totally new, totally different. You are bringing yourself out of a dark, lost place into your future dream. And you are creating that process. Of course, there will be setbacks. The key is to commit to your ultimate goal so that those setbacks don't make you question the final goal. As long as you have that goal in mind and you are determined to make it happen no matter what, then there can be no failure. The failure only happens when you get into your own head and you think, gosh, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I won't actually get there. No, it doesn't exist. I am committed to making this happen no matter what. So that didn't work. That didn't get me closer to it. What do I do now? That's it. Don't let your brain overcomplicate it. And don't ever let your brain bring in all these ideas like, well, I'm just not good enough. I just can't do that. When your brain starts chattering like that, just be like, yeah. I know all that stuff. Now, what am I going to do next to achieve this goal? So guys, let's do a quick recap. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling down, maybe you have just had a huge life crisis, lost someone you love, gone through a divorce, lost a business, lost a job, right? There are so many ways that you can feel lost in your life. If you want to get back on track, these 5 simple tools will help you get there no matter what it is that has derailed you. So the first is to use a brain hack. If I knew, what would the answer be? This is anytime your brain is stuck and I don't know, because when you're lost, it's like, I don't even know where to start. Ask yourself, okay, well, if I did know where to start, what would I do? Right? That's all. That's simple. Use the brain hack. The second tool is to go out and seek inspiration. See people who are doing what you want to do, who are achieving what you want to achieve, and get inspired. Show your brain that these things are possible, that they are happening in the world. Third, watch your mouth in your own brain. Eliminate the can'ts, the would haves, maybe not the would haves, the should haves, the have tos, the never, the always. Stop using that language with yourself. Fourth, clarity on those goals. I want you to see, hear, and feel now what you want to create in the future, and then break down every step along the way so you'll know if you're making progress or not. And finally, get rid of that whole idea that you can fail. You just had a setback or something that didn't help you get to your goal. Okay, try something else now. Let go of that idea. If you commit to achieving that goal no matter what, then that whole concept of failure really doesn't apply to you anymore. Guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear what your goals are and where you're going. So leave a note in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the little bell to turn on notifications. I'm going to be giving you a lot more tools and hacks to help find your way and enjoy yourself along the way. Okay guys, I'll see you soon.